Hello everyone, this is Jim Okerzinski with your weekly lecture video. So this week we are working on the examples of the summary essay that are located in the appendix of the textbook. There's two examples, just like the literacy narrative, that are listed as summary. I believe they're called Truth of the Trades and Intelligence versus Cultural Bias. Each example has much to offer you in reviewing those particular essay examples and what to do and also maybe what not to do. I'm reminded to tell everybody that I do just select examples. They are not like perfect examples. Such things really don't exist. And so you want to make sure that you learn from what the examples have to offer. So if we get to the modules here, you will see in the readings tab, I have a collection of not only our readings, but the previous week's lecture video. So, and looking at the textbook here, you want to review. Once again, as we move into next week, we are drafting the summary essay. So you want to really take a good hard look at how and why to writing a summary, go through the steps and the keys to summarizing effectively. We've already done our review of the art of summarizing the reading with a discussion board post and looking at those traps, whether it's abandoning the summary, the closest cliche syndrome, or the list summary. You want to make sure that you are reviewing all the material before you start drafting your summary essay. So remember, there is no quoting in writing a summary, right? Do not use quotes. You are not then summarizing, you're more so evaluating. We talk about borrowing phrases or swapping clauses, and you want to give the author credit like every 3 to 4 sentences by using those signal verbs listed in the back of the art of summarizing. All right, so just review this carefully. Also, you want to make sure that you pay close attention to the organizational outline on how to go about introducing your particular topic. How do you want to get into your particular draft of Essay 2? Cover this a little bit more in the screencast or maybe next week's lecture video. But let's get back to the appendix here and take a look at the two examples. Okay, they are, let's get to the Truth of the Trades. All right, so you can see here in Truth of the Trades, and I'll just speak to this a bit. You know, the writer does a good job of opening up with a anecdote about his father and his skills. He introduces the article here, which is great. But, excuse me, as you can see, this runs a little bit long. We're already into the second page. And remember, the purpose of this essay assignment is the summary of the article. So not only after we get into the top of page 2 on this one, we're all, once again, we have a paragraph here all about the author. So one thing I really want to point out, it does a good job of providing the background for Mike Rose to open the essay, but it's like I have a double introduction here. So there's the anecdote and there's also the background, and this is really not the purpose here. You have to use either or, not both. So I get into the middle of the second page, and I know my comment when I reviewed this essay was, well, I'm in the middle of the second page, where is my summary? So you're really kind of shorting the summary. Let's see if we can take a look here. Let's see, between the two openings, the two introductions. Let's see if I can do this here. Tools, word count. We're already like at 465 words, and I really haven't gotten to the summary as the audience yet. All right, it's important. I want to know what that article has to say. So as you can see, then the balance of the essay is the summary, and it might even need a little transition here. We have Rose starts, Rose leads. See, while still arguing, there we go here, and Rose defends. So we need to get some ideas here about transitioning from paragraph to paragraph. But here's the conclusion, and if we once again look at the conclusion, the word count is about 98 words. So you could look at it from the perspective that this particular essay needed a little bit more in a way, needed a little bit more balance, in other words, right? So we need a little bit more of a conclusion, giving the responding to the argument that Rose presents in the article, Blue Collar Brilliance. So we can see here it's a little bit unbalanced, right? So you want to be aware of that. We want to make sure that we provide one of the possible introductions, not both. Now here we do a really good job of looking at intelligence versus cultural bias. Once again, student opens up with the anecdotal, connects it to Rose's argument, right? About the intelligence of blue collar jobs, and it pretty much wraps up on the first page. So then we move on to the summary, which is great. So this particular introduction, let me see here. The tools, let's see, word count. It's about 292 words we see right here, 292 words. So that's a pretty good balance there. It's not the 465 between the 200, the two different openings, or I should say the two openings that the other essay uses, all right, the truth of the trades. And it runs through the summary, rows, 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 continuously mentioned throughout the summary portion. And then here we have in conclusion, which is a signal. Maybe you could figure out a little bit better way to signal out your conclusion, but it's effective. Word count here is about 181 words. So it's a little bit more in the conclusion end than the previous example essay, The Truth of the Trades. However, it's important to keep some sort of a balance here, right? So you want to make sure that you do respond and you do indicate whether you agree or disagree and the how and the why here. So this is, my perspective of looking at the example essays. You've got really some significant summary working here, along with a balance opening and a balance closing, much more so than the original essay there on truth of the trades, right? So just looking ahead, remember we have just the responses due, so you should be working on your first draft. Next week, week 8, from the 19th to the 24th is drafting week. So the first draft and the peer report will be due on Tuesday. Peer reviews due on Friday, and then the final draft of Essay 2 will be due on Sunday. So that's what our schedule is going to look like there. So just to give you an overview, let's see, that's the schedule. Let's get to the drive folder. I've already created the folder for Essay 2, the summary essay, and in this folder is the peer review report specifically written for Essay 2, all right? So hopefully you will all be able to benefit from those examples. If you have any questions, please send me an email. Good luck.